Hello, Gary Champion, psychic medium again, with a philosophical question that was sort of brought to me from the other side in my sleep. And I think it's pretty interesting, but you'll be the judge of that. All the problems we tend to be getting into, world peace type problems, or even local problems, political problems, um, religious wars that have been going on. I'd say pretty much everything are really being defined by our memories. We store all our memories. And I was at a conference once. I think it was California, but it could have been anywhere. Could have been Kansas City. And there were people standing around drinking and talking. And an Irishman was particularly heated, hot, angry. It's been some time ago, maybe 30 years ago. He was angry. And he kept talking about that's the bloody hill that so-and-so did this and that, and we'll not forget it, and blah, 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 blah. I remember thinking at the time that you hold on to crap too long. It happened 100 years ago. Well, there's people in the South that hold on to the losing of the Civil War. They weren't even there. They're not our memories. They were memories of someone in the 1860s. Well, far back in history enough that no one locally would have any personal, intimate knowledge of it. Yet we're angry about it. Not we. I was never angry about the Civil War. It was a stupid war. It made no sense. And I think it got resolved in the correct way, although some people still don't let go of it. And with this Irishman was talking about this bloody hill where the British had done something to the Irish, and he went on and on about it. And I was thinking, gee, you got to let that go. Your memories are defining what's going on now. You're not enjoying your life very much, and you're holding a grudge, and you're killing people. Killing people because of some history thing that happened 100 years ago. Should our memories be defining us that way? If we could be defined by what we do today, what our purpose is, what we get up, what we accomplish, what our ideas are, then none of that would exist. People wouldn't be killing each other over something that happened 100 years ago or 200 years ago. Somewhere there was a caveman that hit another caveman on the head with a rock, and they argued about it for a century, who was in the right, who was in the wrong. They argued about it until it sort of disappeared from any kind of memory, any kind of sense memory. Tribes moved on. They spread out around the United States and around the world and Africa, and the sense memory of the death of, or let's say he died when he got hit by a rock. Oh, what a horrible thing. Glug got killed by a rock. But the sense memory of it's gone. No one has any, they didn't have photos back then or films, and that's a big undoing. If you watch television, they tend to replay and replay and replay films about historical events of significant consequence, and you ask them why they're doing it, they'll tell you, we don't want anybody to forget. We will learn by it if we don't forget it. Never was a bigger lie told. Never was a bigger lie told. I've repeated it over and over again. We do not learn from our experiences. We do not learn from our past. Teaching history is a waste of time. I'm saying it straight out. Who cares whether the Assyrians invaded Mongolia and killed? Who cares? Is it important to remember it? Is maybe the sense memory of that historical event eons ago something that's disrupting these people from getting together today? And remember, history is written by the winners. It's not written by the losers. So most of history is just crap. It's not true anyway. The guy wasn't on his horse with his sword raised, going into the breach. The winners defined it that way. Old Colonel so-and-so was leading the charge. That guy was back in a hut somewhere having a coffee break. They want us to believe it, but it didn't happen that way. So most history's a lie. Most of it. Not a little bit of it, most of it. Things you can't alter because they were so large are probably true to some extent in that they happened, but the surrounding stuff that we do movies about is totally made up. And someone gets angry, says, my brother didn't say that. My uncle would have never done that. They don't know. They weren't there. And who cares anyway? We don't really care. It's an entertaining movie. We don't care if they got the facts wrong. Braveheart, Scottish independence. There's so much fake stuff in that. I mean, people who are historians can point it out, but it was a great movie. Proved a point, said some nice things. Let's move on to the next one. So I'm saying clearly that if what we were doing today, our memories of what we're doing today, what I am doing this morning, this video I'm doing, the readings I'm going to do today, that should define me. Not something that happened when I was 4 or 6 or 8. A lot of happening with me when I was 6. I became a medium. But is it important? It's historically, and I talk about it all the time. It was important. It changed my life. And when changing my life, it changed many other lives. But is it worth dwelling on? What did you do today? What did Gary Champion do today? Well, nothing. I've just gotten up. I've got me a cup of coffee, and I'm doing this video, and I have readings to do later. But by the end of the day, will I be satisfied with what I did today? Pretty much I always am. I give it my best shot. And I'm going to say should define me. Historically, I'm not important, as most people aren't. They just think they're important. But when we let our historical memories rule what we're doing today, it's a mistake. Oh, the British and the Bloody Hill, and they shot that Irishman. He's probably dead now. He was pretty old then. Did he take that with him? No, because anger didn't last when you pass. It's something that drops away. It has no relevance anymore, and you see the stupidity of it. Why? Because you can see past, present, and future. So why can't we do that today? We hold on to these memories as though they were valuable, as though they meant something. Something that happened to me when I was a child. Does it matter today? The medium one, yeah, defines me. But me not getting a bicycle for my birthday, should that be in my memory? I don't think so. I think you got to forgive all that stuff in the past all of it. Dump every bit of it. Why? Because it's ruining your life today. Oh, I had a terrible marriage, blah, blah, blah. And that's all you can think about for 15 years. Your life's over. Psst, you spent 15 years talking about it, living it, having coffee with the girls over it, and it's ruined your life because you held on to something that doesn't matter anymore. Move past it. Do our memories define us? Yeah. Should they? No. Oh, he's a great man. She's a great woman. She did this. She saved the world and blah, blah, blah. When did she do that? 30 years ago? What has she done today? And all the people that hated her for saving the world and all that, let that go. I mean, all the greatness of it should not define your whole life. You had a great moment, move on. Okay. Thanks for saving the world, Superwoman. Move on. What'd you do today? Our in the moment memories should define us for now. Not something we did then. Or not something we remember that some uncle said that wasn't true because he made it up himself. A bloody hill. He wasn't there. He doesn't know. He's reading historical context and stuff that other people who had relatives that died there keep stirring that pot of hate until it's affected his life. Defining moments in America's history, are they real or mostly made up? Probably a little bit of both. Crossing the Delaware in the boat, Washington was up front pointing the way. Famous picture, not accurate. We don't know. I doubt that he was in the front of the boat in his little cape and fine hat in the sub-zero weather. It didn't happen that way, but we redefined it some way, something that's glorious. The real truth is probably horrible. Many people died, froze to death because someone was too ignorant to get winter clothing. Something like that's probably real. Let the past go because the future depends on it. Your now, right now, should define you. If you drag your past into the present, then it screws the present up. And then you're going to drag it into the future, it's going to screw that up too. You have a memory of something that probably didn't happen the way you thought it did. And even if it's historically accurate, should it define you today? I'm saying no. I'm saying you should let that go. Try to be the best human you can be today. Doesn't matter what you did yesterday. That's in the past. Move on to something else. Oh, he did this and she did that. And they. Does it matter? Does it really matter? If it matters to you, be prepared to stay in the past. Be prepared to live your life based on memories that you had as a child or that you were told about that are not historically accurate. I was talking to my wife the other day about writing a book about a story my grandmother told me about a bank robbery. She was always into stories like that. It was a bank robbery. And we were sitting on the porch. Back then they had porches and rocking chairs, and that's where everything was settled. So we're doing that, and they're telling the story. My aunt and my grandmother, and they're being quiet because they don't want me to hear it, but of course I'm hearing everything. Is it historically accurate? I don't know. Haven't gotten around to looking it up yet. Just happened. But my wife looked, and she didn't see anything. But it's still a neat story. So I can write a book based on historically inaccurate facts, which aren't facts, because it occurred to me it might be interesting. But do I want to live my life that way? No. No, thank you. And I'm working on letting go of all that if I can. That's it. No fear, no regret, no anger. Thanks for watching.